coming up live at 5.
I'm Jack Shields, and I'm outside the Athens-Clarke County Elections Office where early voting has begun. Today I'll bring you the latest on this year's presidential preference primary.
I'm Anna Ruth Riggins at the Tate Student Center where SGA tabling has begun for voting. I'll be giving you the latest on what to expect from each ticket in the running.
And we go in depth on the $1.2 million raised at the Extra Special People's Big Hearts Weekend. All that and more on Grady Newsource.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College of the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Lucy Birch and welcome to Grady Newsource. Today is the first day of early voting in the Georgia Presidential Preference Primary. The polls are closing up as we speak. Grady Newsource reporter Jack Shields joins us live from the Athens-Clarke County Elections Office. Jack, how were the polls today?
As you can see, Lucy, voting just wraps up here behind me. Everyone's getting stuff put back together. The poll workers count 64 people that came in to place early votes today. And the director of the ACC Board of Elections told me that while it's not as much as she was hoping for, she expects the numbers to ramp up as early voting continues.
You definitely want to get out and vote for the PPP so that you can guarantee that the candidate that you wish to have on the ballot in November will be on the ballot in November.
Voters can vote at any polling station during early voting. However, Sotheby says this will change on Election Day on March 12th.
Voters should definitely visit the My Voter page with the Secretary of State's office to, if you're going to vote in person on Election Day, to make sure that you're going to the correct polling location.
Today, volunteers checked in voters by giving them a voter access card that is used to place their vote. Voters then inserted their card into a ballot marking device to make their selection electronically. The device then printed a paper ballot that voters submit along with their voter access card. A valid Georgia or U.S. issued ID is required for advance voting. Visit the Georgia Secretary of State's My Voter page for more details. Athens-Clarke County voter Gloria Jones says she always tries to vote early because of how convenient it is.
It's very important to vote and have your voices heard. It's not enough to complain. You need to cast your ballot.
The nonprofit group Asian Americans Advancing Justice was also present at the polls today, ensuring that no one was turned away from placing their vote.
We really aim to amplify the voices of minorities, so we just want to make sure that everyone is getting their equal and fair right to vote.
The group also offers free assistance to voters who don't feel confident placing their vote on their own.
We are just here offering free interpretation to people who might need it, and also helping people troubleshoot any questions they might have.
Early voting will continue through March 8th ahead of the official primary date on March 12th. More information on advanced voting locations and acceptable forms of ID is available on the Georgia Secretary of State's website. Question.
It seems we're having technical difficulties, but let's see what the UGA Student Government Association is doing right now. The voting began today, and Grady Newsource reporter Anna Ruth Riggins was there all day watching the elections fair in the Tate Plaza. Here's what she saw.
The Empower and Provide tickets have been out here campaigning since 10 a.m., but action has not been seen today. Vice presidential candidate Millie Chung said that they were not able to table today due to time conflicts, but are planning to hold an event from 3:30 to 5 tomorrow. Although it has calmed down a little bit behind me, there have been tons of students coming through here all day to get their votes in, especially during class change.
I decided to run for SGA. Well, we all decided to, because we realized that it's not enough just to have these conversations. We actually wanted to, rise up and take action.
The 3 executive tickets in the running are Empower, Action, and Provide. Students will be able to vote for the roles of president, vice president, and treasurer.
Involved as an orientation leader this past summer, and so I just really figured out how much of an impact you can have on other students here. And then after getting involved with SGA, I knew that this was the route I wanted to take to really have a deep impact on student life.
These are some of the main goals for each ticket that they plan to implement on campus if they are elected. One of Provide's main goals is to extend Drop Ad Week for students from 7 to 10 days. Empower plans to focus more on building a comprehensive resource network for students, while Action plans to prioritize funding the food pantry on campus.
If I win and my ticket wins, I'll be the first deaf disabled person to ever be on an executive ticket. And to me, I never had that kind of representation since being deaf, so it'd just be really cool to see that.
We will continue to keep you updated with this story, and all UGA students can vote using this link down below. Voting closes on Wednesday at noon, and results will be announced right here at Tate at 5 p.m. on Wednesday. For Grady Newsource, I'm Anna Ruth Riggins.
Some students in Northeast Georgia require assistance when it comes to eating once school ends. Reporter Karina Murray shares how I Serve Ministries started a program called Bags of Love, are using their resources to bridge the gap from school to home.
Jeff and Sherry Grant. We started I Serve Ministries in 2011, and we have been building and growing this ministry since then. It's heartbreaking to realize that we have this many families in our community and in the United States, that there's people that are that poor, or what we call food insecure.
The joy is to know that kids that suffer with food insecurity, that they're going to go home with extra food over the weekend. Just like many of our schools will have winter break coming up this week, and so they might not go to school Friday or go to school on President's Day, but we know that they're going to have a backpack with some extra food.
Long-term volunteers like Aaron Garrett feel called to something bigger.
Feels like you're part of a bigger picture. Each one of these bags ends up representing a child.
Absolutely, and I see all of these bags, they don't look too heavy, so that's pretty good. They can carry it. That kind of like a part of it, like making sure they're not too heavy, or
Definitely, but also just so that it's inconspicuous. It doesn't say anything crazy. Another child's not going to see the bag on somebody and be like, oh, they're getting something because they're in this bracket.
The Bag of Love founders say they serve over 20 schools in the Northeast area, but that's not the most rewarding part.
Sometimes in the bags we'll get notes of saying, hey, thank you, we wouldn't know what to do without this, or, you know, the great notes are is when you get one and say, hey, we don't need the bag anymore.
The founders encourage everyone to come out and volunteer.
You bring your group and you're going to come in here and you're going to see all the food set up and ready to go. And we have an assembly line where each person puts an item in the backpack and we pass it along the table, and at the end of the table it gets zipped up and put on our shelves so that our delivery drivers can come in and pick them up.
And these bags right here are the same bags that are packed every week by volunteers to make sure a family of 4 is fed. Behind me, 300 bags to impact 300 families.
It puts a smile on their face and lets them know that, hey, you matter and somebody cares about you, even if we're not allowed to know their names. Somebody cares.
I'm Karina with Grady Newsource.
Coming up, we will take a look at the Extra Special People's Big Hearts Weekend that highlighted people with disabilities in a special way.
In high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far. A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. place that I call home.
Over the weekend, Extra Special People raised over $1.2 million at its Big Hearts event. News Source reporter Abigail Watts shows us how the event celebrated people with disabilities.
At Athens Church, the Extra Special People community is ready for a big night. It's ESP's Big Hearts weekend, and everyone is prepared to bring full glam to the talent show participants. ESP's talent show and gala celebrate people with disabilities, and ESP CEO Laura Smith says it may be the first time some people are introduced to ESP or will interact with someone with a disability.
And they come to Big Hearts and they realize, wow, this is a whole community I didn't know about. And they begin to lean in to sometimes the awkward of interacting with people with disabilities and end up finding a joy that I think is irreplaceable.
Rod Smith, who has been part of the ESP community since 2014, is hosting and participating in the talent show.
I'm doing a different talent tonight as well, so I love the beatbox, but I'm doing something different, and I'm actually going to beatbox a little bit as a host tonight, so I'm excited about it.
In addition to shining light on people with disabilities, the talent show and gala raise money to fund families that can't afford ESP services. During the performances, watchers can vote on their favorite performer for People's Choice. Each vote is $1 and will be donated to ESP.
Is going to support after-school programs, summer camps, Job of Joy employment. All of those programs can't be possible without ongoing support.
This year's People's Choice winner was Finn Whalen, who danced to Head, Shoulders, Knees, and Toes. Overall, the weekend raised $1.2 million, but it also brought people together to celebrate those with disabilities.
It's amazing. It makes me want to cry sometimes because, we're all special in the Lord's eyes, and these participants, they're very special, and looking forward to them showing their talents.
Abigail Watts for Grady Newsource.
Memorial Dog Park has been well loved by the Athens community since it opened in 2000. Grady Newsource reporter Carly Ferris tells us how the recent delays in construction.
Athens resident Catherine Elrod moved into her home in 2023 because of its proximity to Memorial Dog Park. However, the park closed in July 2022 for renovations.
You'll see a lot of people walking their dogs down the street and then just right back because it's not open. And, I know there's one across town, but it would just be nice to have it open, and it's SPLOST money. And so just to, what's going on with our tax dollars.
The Athens-Clarke County Commission and Mayor voted to approve the SPLOST Improvement Project funding of over $6 million for Memorial Park renovations in 2019. The Memorial Dog Park was on track to open last summer, but it is still closed to the public to this day. SPLOST, or the collected sales tax dollars Athens residents spend every day, is being used to fund 37 projects, including Memorial Park.
When Public Utilities came to us about 2 years ago, to say they were putting a new sewer line that was going right through the middle of the dog park, so they would be tearing up a lot of that area.
Park construction efforts were initially postponed, but they later began doing both simultaneously.
However, that sewer line project ran into a lot of delays, and we were at the mercy of that project in order to complete the dog park.
Catherine Elrod and her dogs, Ryder and Fitz, can expect to visit the new and improved dog park in mid-April once the weather permits the installation of turf. In the meantime, residents can take their dogs to Sandy Creek Dog Park and Southeast Clark Park. With Grady Newsource, I'm Carly Ferris.
Next, we turn to Grady Newsource reporter Emily Wisnowski, who covered the state-of-the-art Circle Air Corp extractor and dryer put into the Barrow County's newest fire station.
Barrow County Fire and Rescue recently opened the doors for its new and improved Station 3. Lieutenant Sean Gum, Inspector, Public Fire and Safety Educator, and Public Relations for Barrow County, showcased the brand new Circle Air Corp extractor and dryer, specifically designed to wash firefighter turnout gear and remove debris from whatever situation the gear was involved in. Gum says that prior to this day and age, firemen only had regular washing machines to put their gear in. Taking the gear home to wash meant contaminating the washer with the carcinogenic materials latched onto the gear.
Anything to keep the transfer of carcinogens that come off of that gear that get trapped in your fabrics, just like smells and everything get trapped in your fabrics at home. This is specifically designed to extract all of those bad particles.
The extractor not only cleans the materials, but sanitizes itself after every wash as well, making sure that the next set of gear put into the washer won't be more contaminated than it already may be. This new technology is one of many protocols being put in place at Station 3 to ensure firemen's safety, health, and longevity. Reporting for Grady Newsource, I'm Emily Wisnowski.
After the break, Grady Newsource reporter Molly Langdon will tell you more about UGA Athletics' big weekend and NBA's All-Star Weekend.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. It's time to start saving now. A free 3-minute online chat can give you the personalized tips you need to start boosting your retirement savings today. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back. I'm Molly Langdon here with your Grady Newsource Sports Report. It was a big weekend for the Bulldog Athletics Department with the baseball home opener and UGA basketball hosting the Gators. UGA baseball beat UNC Asheville 3-0 in its home opener weekend series at Foley Field in Athens. Friday, UGA won 11-2 with graduate pitcher Charlie Goldstein matching his career high of 7 strikeouts in 4 innings. Saturday, UGA won 17-5 with 6 home runs. And Sunday, the Bulldogs secured the series with a score of 10-0. This weekend was also new head coach Wes Johnson's debut. Previously, Johnson served as LSU's pitching coach with the team winning the national championship last year. Director of Athletics Josh Brooks is excited to see what he will do for UGA's baseball program. Staff member Bronlyn Holland gives us some insight into the team's energy this weekend.
The vibes of the team were absolutely incredible. Our coaching staff is phenomenal. This new era is unlike anything else. Like, there's so much positivity. Everybody's always uplifting each other. Like, we're always just one big family.
Moving on to basketball, the Bulldogs faced defeat against the Florida Gators in a close matchup with over 10,000 attendees at the Stegman Coliseum. The Bulldogs were up 46-40 at the half, but began trailing the Gators with 7 turnovers at the beginning of the second half. The basketball Bulldogs are on a 6-game losing streak, and head coach Mike White says that the team needs to work on their defensive formation and minimize live turnovers if they want to be competitive in their game at Vanderbilt on Wednesday. Coach White says that the loud Bulldog fans on Saturday were a big factor in the game. And next up, the Eastern Conference All-Stars defeated the West in the NBA All-Star Game this weekend in Indianapolis. It was the highest point game in history with a final score of 211-186. That's all for your sports today from Grady Newsource. This is Molly Langdon. Coming up after the break, Grady Newsource reporter Hannah Dendy gives us the weather forecast for the week.
you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
You're home before sunrise, on top of the house, the kids, and our future. The smell of your cooking is our alarm clock. My Shiro's day is never done. So let's start saving a little more now so we can feel prepared for retirement. A free 3-minute online chat can give us the personalized tips we need so we can live our lives to the fullest. Visit aceyourretirement.org.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
I'm Hannah Dindy with your Grady Newsource weather report. This beautiful President's Day started out cold in the low 30s, but it got up to 59 degrees late in the afternoon. Clear skies and sunshine were present all day. There will be a widespread frost starting as early as 3 a.m., lasting until around 7 a.m. Tomorrow's weather will be similar to today's with a low of 30 and a high of 64. The mostly sunny skies with light wind will be sticking around. The mostly sunny skies with light wind will be sticking around into Wednesday with a low of 39 degrees that night. Thursday it gets warmer with a high of 67 degrees with sunny skies all day, but at night there is an 80% chance of rain, so bring a rain jacket if you have any Thursday night plans or an umbrella. And to round out the weekday, Friday will be clear and sunny with a high of 65 and a low of 40 degrees. So Friday is a perfect day to eat outside, or if you have any fun evening plans, to make sure to be outside to enjoy this weather heading into the weekend. Today is President's Day, which is a day a lot of people enjoy to have work or school off. And today was a beautiful day for people to spend outside and enjoy their day off by playing tennis at Bishop Park with friends.
Practicing for our league match on next Sunday with teammates of ours and just enjoying the beautiful weather and the day off.
People today also were walking their dogs, running and walking around the park. Or if you took your child to the playground to spend their day off, running around the program or just running outside. This was the perfect day for these activities and always a fun way to spend your day off with such sunny weather and a nice chill with temperatures not getting too hot on the outside. And with Grady Newsource Weather Report, I'm Hannah Dindy.
Thanks for that, Hannah. Join us after the break for more on Barrow County. The Board of Education voted to promote Rebby Lichlighter to principal, and Grady Newsource reporter Jessica Moore explains why.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. For her to see her father celebrate his graduation, it's the best feeling in the world. I can't lie and say it was easy. But sometimes you just have to stop everything and take it in. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
The visitation and memorial service for beloved Clark Central High School custodian Maria Reyes took place on Saturday, February 17th at Lord and Stevens Funeral Home. She was described as a beautiful soul with a loving smile. The burial took place directly after. She will be very missed by the Gladiator community. Winder Barrow High School Assistant Principal Rebby Lichlighter was promoted to principal for next school year. Grady Newsource reporter Jessica Moore tells us how building a community and staying involved got her the promotion.
I was falling behind in my grades the following semester, last semester.
Tristan Turner is a junior student athlete at Winder Barrow High School. Like so many students, he had a lot on his plate to balance. Rebby Lichlighter saw the problems Tristan was having, and she stepped in to help.
She vouched for me a lot, and now I have weight training. I got a split schedule. My parents are happy. I'm happy, and I was really grateful that she helped a lot, especially because a lot of principals won't do that for you.
Her involvement with students is a main reason for her recent promotion to principal. She says teachers coming together help students succeed more than working individually.
Collective teacher efficacy is the highest effect size on student achievement, and that, for me, is my biggest strength.
This collaboration between teachers plays a big role in student success.
Working with teachers to build that confidence that together we collectively will do more for our students and can do better for our students rather than being apart.
Lichlighter will officially start the position as principal for the 2024 to 2025 school year. I'm Jessica Moore, Grady Newsource.
That's all we have for you tonight. I'm Lucy Birch with Grady Newsource. Thanks for tuning in and good night.
During high school, I hung with the wrong crowd and I never graduated.
I helped Santiago in many different ways, like all fathers do, because he always wanted to go to college.
I felt a little embarrassed to come back to school, but eventually, once I came here, I knew that it's for a bigger goal.
He was very dedicated, hardworking. He connected with his teachers, he connected with other students. That was one of the key reasons why he was able to keep forging ahead.
It was amazing to see him graduate. This was one thing that meant so much to him, and of course, it meant so much to us too.
With the help of my father and having my son, that was all the motivation that I needed. That support is everything.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire start.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
this was working. Are we on it? Oh, okay. How about now? Can you hear me, guys? Yeah? No? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Are you going to say something? How about now? Okay. No, you go. No, you go. You go.
Well, oh, I know. Yeah, honestly, considering all, oh yeah, considering all the last minute changes that we have for the show, I thought everything went really well. And getting all the packages in and everything. So, yeah, I guess the only other thing that I would mention is I did see just in one of the packages that the lower thirds were still kind of being blocked by the ticker, but other than that, everything else looked good. The coloring and the shots and everything. The only other thing I heard from the tech team was some of the packages did have some audio that was kind of either too low or too high, so we were kind of having to ride the audio levels a lot during the show. But other than that, I thought everything went well, and great job.
All right, and thank you guys did a great job with the last minute Zoom and everything. I have a few things to say, and I'll watch everybody's packages again because it's just not enough time to. One thing I noticed you keep doing is you're interviewing two people on camera, but one of them doesn't speak. So they kind of look off. Yeah, because it looks rude, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, okay. Because it sort of can look rude, right? And it looks odd, you know. Yeah. And Karina had two people. One of them didn't speak, and your sources were backed in a corner. And avoid that. Give people depth and some room behind them. I'll look at your package again. I didn't have time to take it in, but both of you had two people and one of them didn't speak. So just reminding you guys that it's best to convince people to. Yours, both of them spoke, but there was another duo, I think, that one of the people didn't speak while they were on camera. But just reminding you guys. And also try to give your sources, place them with some depth behind them, in something happening behind them, not corners and walls. And also, just avoid walls and buildings and things like that. A few teachable moments. I worked with a lot of you today. You had very good information, very good sound bites, but we needed to rearrange them. And we needed to work on the logic and flow. And the thing that I was really excited, because I was able to share with quite a few of you today, to get you excited about character storytelling, where when you have a character, a person, an anecdotal example of a big issue you're talking about, why not start with that character and then broaden the lens and talk about the big issue. And so I'm excited that I got a few opportunities, because you had it all in your scripts. I just had to help you rearrange it. So I'm really excited that we were able to work on that today and the logic of scripts. But most of you had it all there. You came very well prepared with interviews you'd done beforehand, and really enjoyed working with you guys and helping you with teaching you something from my experience. So I really enjoyed that, and try to, not every story lends itself to character storytelling, but when you have a character, try to make the most of. And if I notice it, I'll always pull it out and let you know. With Carly, she had we also worked on bringing back the character at the end. And so she had this, it was a nice sentence, but it had no
humanity, and it was like, what was it, Carly? And we decided to bring back the character. It was about when the dog park will reopen. So she had the sentence, was well written, it was conversational, the dog park will reopen. And I said, Carly, why don't you can bring back the character if you have extra B-roll and say, of her walking her dog, and you could, instead of saying that the park will reopen in April, so-and-so will be able to walk their dog in that park. So see the difference between the park will reopen and coming back to your character, that they'll be able to walk their dog. So think of, if you have that. It doesn't work always, but I'm glad that we were able to work on that, and for me to help you with your humanizing some of your scripts. And Jack, you were impressive. Both in your mini package was really well done with short, 3 different types of character sound bites. Very well done. We only worked on how to open your lead as a live reporter, and but I'd love to hear for you to share your adventure today, because you were very brave to do a second live shot, and you were very brave to say, I gave him a choice. I said, okay, we don't have a volunteer, we will try a new Zoom thing, and do you feel comfortable? And Carly was like volunteering to volunteer without knowing how to volunteer, but then you were brave and you pulled it off, and so I would love for you to share this experience so that you can embolden other people and help them. And also Anna Ruth had an interesting experience where she was struggling with the fact that the action ticket didn't show up, and I kept, she's like, what am I supposed to do? And so I kept pushing her, and she kept bugging these people until they told her, we won't have a table today, and this is the reason why. So she was able to incorporate that in her script and still give everybody equal time. So that's, anything you want to share with people on that one. Abigail struggled with the fact that she didn't have the winner, but she found a way around adding that winner. When you go to an event, stay till the end and capture the event itself. I love the preparation. I love the diversity of sources. I saw a lot of diversity in a lot of your packages, and I really like that. Really loved your sources, but I wish I could have seen them also at the end, and a soundbite with the winner. That would have brought more excitement in it. But it was a good package, but it needed kind of to be finished, I think. But you guys have a lot going, a lot on your plate, so it still worked, but it could have worked better if we had seen the excitement, the drama, to the very end. So at this point, those are the general things. I thought our anchor was very good, very solid. I cannot understand why you were so nervous and you didn't want to do your live Q&A, Sojo. But now I'm excited that I believe now you trust yourself, and that next time you'll do a live shot, you'll do live Q&A, because you've got it. There were a lot of curveballs that came your way, and you handled them really, you were so collected, and you were on top of things, yeah. And that color looked beautiful. Yeah, with sports worked very well with that soundbite, really helped, because even though it was late, you were cool, you didn't panic when we were late a little bit with your soundbite. Weather worked out good, but you were hiding Tuesday because you were reading. You were like, ooh, yeah. But if, that's what I tell people, try. I know it's scary, but if you can ad-lib and interact with your graphics and use them as a cheat sheet, if you get another chance to do weather, try to do that, to let go and get a little reps. But I think it worked. Beautiful outfit. I loved the sound bites worked well. I wish I could have seen people walking dogs B-roll. That would have, but I think it worked out good. And who gave you that idea? Somebody, did you give her that idea to talk to people? I think it was you. It was Taft? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Taft. Yeah, that's what a good producer does, visualizes their stuff. Okay, so I will shut up and I will. Timmy, did you want to say something, darling?
That was a really good show. One thing, this was my first time SPMing without Kira or Sailor or anyone. Thank you. So I was a little frantic and panicked. But my only note is that when you're doing the rundown creator and you're taking notes of what source it's off of, if it's a SOT, like make sure that you're saying it's going to ME1 to DDR or whatever it is, and then make sure that you have the numbers correct for DDR. So if it's off of DDR1, make sure it doesn't say DDR2 in the rundown creator. We noticed it beforehand, so there wasn't any issues. I think that's when the students submit, where's Andrew? When the students upload their things, whatever. Yes, yeah. Yeah. But we looked at it beforehand and were able to make sure it didn't cause any issues. But this was a good show. I'll be here on Wednesday too, so I have good faith. And thank you, Taft, because I don't know, I feel like the collaboration in there was good, and then also the volunteers. There was new ones in there on the floor, and I thank you for the anchors for making it a safe space for him, because he had a lot of fun. And I think he's coming back on Wednesday and Thursday, so it should be awesome. Yeah, yeah, good. I'm glad. And then I thought the Zoom, the live shot, everything that went wrong was kind of out of our control, which is good, because that doesn't really mean we made any mistakes on the technical side. But I have no notes really for Wednesday's show. I thought everyone did a good job. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you. So, where should we? I really want Taft and for you to share your adventure the first time. You nailed the show. You was right on time.
It was an adventurous day that just got more and more chaotic, especially around 3:30. It was okay, this is getting intense. And once 4:30 came, I blacked out for the hour and a half after that. But overall, yes, but I'm back. Overall, it was a really good show. I think the best way to describe producing is controlled chaos. And even if it feels chaotic, just know that if you have the times right, you can fall back on the packages, and everyone that submitted everything will be on time. And I really feel like it was good collaboration throughout the group today. I thought that we were very short on volunteers, and just overall we were at a disadvantage from the start. So shout out to Timmy, and then Andrew was playing 3 roles at once in there. I don't know how he does it, but I just want to for the anchors, and then you, Jack, being short on volunteers, make sure your live's 10 times more stressful down there when you're about to be on camera. So way to keep your composure. I thought the live shot worked out very well, considering we were literally texting back and forth. It was the jankiest system ever, but the timing was perfect. The only thing that didn't happen was the Zoom. We lost connection, which we had no control over. So that being our one issue makes me happy. And then Lucy did a good job of recovering once the connection was lost. I thought the pre-show tease was really good. It looked really nice with Anna Ruth and Jack on camera. And any producers in the future, I'd highly recommend having someone while they're out covering their event to do a SOT, because whenever they do it in person, I think it makes the start of the show way more interesting. And then all the packages looked really solid with some really good B-roll from everybody, especially Abigail. Your B-roll is always insane. You should win an Oscar. There's Aaron Murray just subtly was in your package, which is so cool. And then Molly and Hannah, thank y'all for rolling with the punches, because we were going back and forth on 1 minute and 2 minutes, And then especially you, Hannah, like last minute I made you switch from 1 minute to 2 minute. So you did a good job of staying on your toes and not being set on 1 minute even when you got down there. And then I thought Lucy was great. It's like absolutely outstanding job, especially with your tone on the readers and the packages like anchor leads, because there was a lot of versatility in this show, like a lot of happy packages, and there were some tough subjects and topics, and I think that your tone was perfect for that. So great job. And then I thought it was a great show overall, considering everything that we had to deal with. So thanks.
Do you want to say a word or two?
Okay, this is my first time anchoring, as it's probably a lot of our first times. But yeah, I was so nervous. It felt like my heartbeat was literally, I was about to throw up like every 5 seconds or faint. But hopefully it didn't look like that. And well, I didn't feel good. But good. I must be a good actress. One thing I was gonna say is, yeah, if something goes wrong, like how at the very end of the live it didn't work, I don't know if I did a good job, but if just kind of go with the flow and listen. Okay, good. And listen to your producer, and I feel like Taft did a really good job of helping me feel comfortable every single time I'd do something. You'd be like, "That was awesome, Lucy," or "You did a good job with your tone on this," and then also the volunteer inside. Every single time I'd say something, he'd be like, "Slay, that was awesome." So, So if you're the TV producer next, which is me, I'm giving myself a note to hype everybody up. So yeah.
I don't have a lot to say either. Most of the credit honestly goes to Taft, not me, for the live shot. No, it does, because, I mean, Taft communicated throughout the day pretty much everything he wanted me to do. And I think even when we had to transition to Zoom, like, he was still communicating, making sure everything went well. So kudos to you for that. That's more you than me. And then Lucy, when it went down, I thought you did a really good job. I heard that through the earpiece. It was really good. But I don't know. Is there anything else? That's...
Your biggest critique for his first live was that he was reading, and you didn't do any of that this time. So that was really good.
It honestly helped because I didn't have time to read because we were scrambling, so I couldn't even write a script. So I just had to off the dome.
Yeah, that's what happens. Usually breaking news would do that to me. It's like it's like whether you're ready or not, they put you live on camera and you've got to say something. So that sort of begins to build your confidence, like you can handle it. You will come up. Somehow you always come up with something to say. And so, yeah, you have all my sympathy that you were in this situation, but it's very beneficial, as you yourself said. Now, nothing else can scare you, right? Yeah. I wanted you to share your adventure because you struggled with getting, was it action?
Yes. Which, funny enough, she was in the Tate Starbucks like 2 feet away from me, so that ended up working out really well. But yeah, it was kind of just like having to keep like patience was the biggest thing, because I felt like there was a lot of me just waiting around, and at one point I had everything done except for that one sound bite, which was really frustrating. But sometimes you just have to stick it out and wait, which I'm not the best at patience, so that was kind of hard for me. But yeah, besides that, I think sometimes you just, like, your story just changes throughout the day, and I feel like all of us are kind of learning that as we go, that we have this like perfect image in our head of what our story's going to be, and then once it actually happens, it doesn't end up being that way at all. So, but it's always a good learning experience, and it always keeps me on my toes. So that was my experience. But overall, it was a good day, and it was nice because I still had my stuff done at like a reasonable time.
I don't know about you, but I've never had a story turn out the way I expected it to turn out. And that's the beauty of it. It's always interesting and it never gets boring because, a story has a life of its own and you're prepared, but it just tells you it is what it is. Yeah.
And I really liked the pre-show tease, like having that in there. And so I think Taft Arts, that's like having that going forward just makes the show, I think, more interesting and just
grabbed me right off the top. And it makes a huge difference. And I really appreciate you doing that, Taft and Jack. And it really, I don't know what you guys thought, but it made such a huge difference right off the top. And it's good for you. It's part of your reel. If it came together well, you can add it as like a stand-up or something. Yeah, so that worked out really good. In our remaining moments, anybody else wants to share something?
So as most of you probably know, I have been like very sick the past week, which hasn't been fun. And I feel like with this class especially, like because your days are so long and it's very hustle, 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 it can get hard. And so my package today I actually had done when I had messaged you and I said, hey, like I'm going to meet the lieutenant, like she's showing me around. So I got this package knocked out. So being prepared, especially when like life hits you with stuff and you don't know what's going on, really, really helpful because I was able to like take today and like rest and like try and recuperate for Wednesday's class. So it's just like a piece of advice, like maybe have like a package or something that you can use like in your back pocket. So when life does its lovely little thing and kind of just like, you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, life will happen, sources will cancel on you.
Yeah.
You always have to have that back pocket story. That's great advice. I know I've said it 1,000 times, but hearing it from you, I think it registers more than than me.
Because like if I had to go out today and like run around and try to find, like it would not have been great for me as anyone else who would be in this. So my advice, be prepared, like have something in your back pocket. So because it was really helpful today, like I was able to just kind of like relax and edit, and like when I got your recommendations, just kind of like set,
keep those thoughts. A lot of you got that from you. It wasn't only you, but sound bites need to be very short. The rest summed up by you with interesting B-roll, close-ups, whatever you can. So thank you. Thank you for saying this, because I'm like a broken record, and when mom says something, you're like, okay, talk to the hand. But when somebody else says it, and even when I have guest critiques, somehow they say almost the same things that I say, but when they say it, it kind of, sticks.
Yeah, take my advice, because God knows what is going around right now is not fun. So if you do get it, be prepared. That's mine.
I mean, did you go to the doctor, or is it?
No, I'm gonna.
Okay. And you're sitting right next to your best friend Molly, and telling her I've got COVID, and laughing in her face.
That's my.
We need both of you.
It's like a head cold.
Okay.
I'm not contagious now, by the way. Like it's been bad.
Okay. Okay, guys. I can let you go 5 minutes early. How generous of me! Or if anybody wants to share an adventure. Okay, guys. Love you. Very well done. And I'll watch the show again and give you some feedback if I notice anything. Okay, guys. Thank you.